So let's start first on your list this week. Nastiest pitches of the week. You have Sandy Alcántara. Let's talk about him a little.
Yeah, I've definitely got to give it to him. I mean, the man has been amazing all season. Had another complete game this week. And this just symbolizes his filthiness. I mean, this 100-mile-an-hour sinker is absolutely disgusting. Look at that break. All you can do is watch it.
I don't understand 100-mile-an-hour sinkers. When I was playing, everybody in minor league baseball had velo still. So like you'd see 100 come out of the pen, and then I was fine with 100, fairly straight, fine with that. Velocity wasn't the big deal. But when you started seeing 94, 95 with sink, I was like, I mean, what are you supposed to do with this? Now we're seeing 100 with sink, and I really don't understand how anybody is supposed to ever hit it. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you said that because you still get people on social media, whatever, going, why'd he swing at that? Or why'd he take that pitch? That pitch moved 19 inches arm side with sink. Like, that's crazy.
Absolutely. So, Sandy Alcántara is, I assume he's been on your list a good bit this year. Some of the stuff he throws is just disgusting. So, once again, Sandy Alcántara back on the list.
Absolutely. And he has been on there a good bit. I don't think he gets the credit for being as filthy as he is. Everybody sees him as workhorse, throwing 94-mile-an-hour changeups, sliders that move the wrong way sometimes. He's a filth machine as well as a workhorse and deserves every award he gets.
It's refreshing seeing workhorses in today's day and age because you see a lot of guys throwing 6 innings and getting out of there. Sandy's been throwing more complete games than we have seen in a long time, which is refreshing. Next up on your list, Luis Castillo.
Yeah, another two-seamer. Again, I mean, I guess I'm sensing a theme here, but this one is also wicked, and you get the hitter reaction there. I mean, when you get the guy ducking out of the way of a 97-mile-an-hour front door two-seamer, that's perfection. It may have been a tiny bit off the plate.
The fist pump.
He's so much fun to watch. Like, he's always been one of my favorite guys because he pitches with emotion. He's done a moonwalk off the mound after a K. Like, he's the man. I love watching him pitch. Pure electricity.
I like him as well. And that rotation, by the way, is going to be a problem for somebody in the playoffs. You throw out Luis Castillo, Robbie Ray, Logan Gilbert. They're a legit contender when it comes October, in my opinion.
George Kirby, too. Like, George Kirby is like the new Greg Maddux 2.0. I mean, dude, other than today, doesn't walk a lot of people. And he's got that little two-seamer. Got great command. I mean, amazing command. So yeah, they're going to they're legit. Nasty. And a legit bullpen. Yeah.
Nastiness. Let's just hope Julio Rodriguez is okay because I saw again he was taken out. So let's just hope he's fine. That team will be good. Next up on your list, this is a fun one because we have an eephus debut between you and I here on Flippin Bats. Let's talk about Garrett Stubbs' eephus fastball combo.
This may have been the meanest at bat all year. He gives that little eephus and then zips a fastball by him next pitch. I mean, and that overlay is fantastic. You have Real Muto just taking off before this pitch actually lands. Look at that in the overlay. He's pumping his fist gone. That's how much velo difference there is between these pitches.
I watched this overlay you posted on Twitter. It was either last night or the night before, and I was just dying of laughter because the eephus was so slow that in the overlay the catcher gets up and is pumping his fist while the eephus is still in the air in the overlay. It just makes it's just beautiful, and it's actually very difficult to hit.
I have never seen that before in an overlay. I mean, maybe because there's not been a 47-mile-an-hour difference between pitches in one of my overlays. But yeah, all right. So as a hitter, what do you do here? Like, you're sitting there going, all right, this guy's, lobbing eephuses in there. And then all of a sudden you get an 84-mile-an-hour fastball that seems like it's 104.
This next guy on your list, I'm excited to talk about because it just means he's back and healthy for now, and he's got pitches going all over the place. Let's talk about Dustin May.
So for my money, Dustin May is perhaps the filthiest pitcher in baseball, just stuff-wise. He needs to refine his command coming back from injury. But you have this 99-mile-an-hour two-seamer. I think this ran 20 inches. Just absolutely brutal. And he also combines that with a breaking ball. I think he calls it a curveball. That this had 3,390 RPMs. I mean, that's nuts. And then you overlay. Yeah, I mean, he's got one of the filthiest curveballs in the major leagues. You combine that now here with a sinker and that breaking ball. They look right down the middle, and then they go onto different continents from there. Like, look at that.
It makes me feel better about sitting here right now because, I know that I faced a lot of these guys, and then I see them on your overlays, and it's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't feel bad about hitting 230 against these guys. Like this should be impossible to hit theoretically.
I think it should. Like, to me, every hit in the major leagues, especially off a guy like this, is like a minor miracle. I don't know how you do this other than guess, luckily, and even if you guess right, it's not like these pitches are just like laid in there. Even if you knew it was coming, it's going to be tough.
Next up on your list for this week, one of the nastiest and probably one of the more underrated pitchers in the game of baseball, Tristan McKenzie, absolute stud, and his curveball.
That's exactly why I put him in here. He does not get the love he deserves other than from Guardians fans, but his curveball is totally filthy. It's filthy and gorgeous at the same time. It's a pure 12-6. Looks so pretty, but it's devastating. And he had, 13 Ks last night? That was just a tour de force of pitching. Like, I love watching a dude pitch. He pitches with emotion. He's so much fun. And this helps set up his elevated fastball as well. So it's such a great pitch.
It's fitting that he put the exclamation mark on the AL Central, I think. It's not technically over, but his outing last night, he went out there and said, I'm finishing this off. This division is ours. And against a good team that had been playing better of late, just made them look absolutely silly.
Yeah, and I got some pushback because I had him like number 5 on my list of top 5 pitchers, 25 and under. And everybody's like, well, why is Tristan? I'm like, because Tristan McKenzie is a stud. And I don't know that everybody has been watching him as closely as maybe you and I do. But hopefully his 14K game and his 13K game opened some eyes among some people.
Yeah, I agree. A guy that's opening a lot of eyes these days, including yours and including mine, Shohei Ohtani. He is once again here. We get some bonus picks in here. So Shohei is on here. Tell me why.
Because I always like to over deliver, Ben. That's what I do. I put in bonus picks because I love them. And this is a 99-mile-an-hour fastball and a splitter. And I love this because you can see how they swap places. You see that splitter start out above the fastball, disappears on you, and then you still have that 99-mile-an-hour fastball boring in. Again, to how anybody hits anything, this is a great example. Like, that is pure filth.
Pure filth is right. I just learned the Japanese word for nasty because I do a Japanese word of the day on this show every Tuesday, and the Japanese word for nasty is igui. And that certainly was that. Name. And so was, it is, right? I love it. And certainly igui. Yes, igui. Certainly igui is Kevin Gosman's pitch that we're about to talk about. So tell me, and this was great. I saw you posted about this as well. You kind of went in on Bryce Harper here. This was great. Tell me about it.
Number one, I love Bryce Harper. Like, I think he's obviously a fantastic hitter. I just loved him trying to sell that he fouled off this ball. He's pointing to his bat. Like, look, I hit it off here. And he's like, can I get some help here? I'm like, Bryce, I can give you help because on this side view, you missed this pitch by 6 inches. I don't know what you were thinking, but you did not come close to touching that, Bryce.
The slow mo from the side is great because he argues, "Can I get some help?" And then you watch the replay, and he's a good, I don't know, 6 inches away from the baseball, which is a lot. But I must say, I have been there as well, and you're just trying to put some doubt in anybody's mind. Like, I fouled it off. That's why the catcher didn't catch it. And all you're trying to do is get just a little bit of doubt, but then it doesn't look good when the replay shows up.
Well, like I watched the replay because I had doubt. I was watching it in real time, and I'm like, maybe he tipped it. He's arguing. He looks convincing. Yeah, he'd be a good actor. I mean, he had me bought for a little bit until I saw the replay.
Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.